Still not. Oh, we are live.
We are live. Hey guys, how you doing?
We're good.
You know what I did? I went and clicked on the wrong one. So I should do the right one. Okay, hold on. No, we're not. Yes, we will.
Hey, that was cool.
That's better, isn't it?
That's
You know,
better.
so in StreamYard, you can hit on the countdown, which is 30 seconds, but we've got our regular one that we use. I clicked on the wrong one, right? So hopefully you guys forgive me for
Well, it was a nice save anyway, Dave.
Yeah,
You brought it right back.
there we go.
Something I would do.
Yeah.
Well, hey, we're all beginners at this, right? We're still finding our way, and part of finding our way is meeting some great people. And we have with us tonight as a guest, we've got Craig from, and let's see if I do this, SHHH Moto Travels. Is that correct?
That's right. You got it.
All right. Craig is joining us from British Columbia, Canada, and that's our topic tonight. We're going to be talking about Destination BC, right? And I see we've got some good people. We got Rob from Dead Knots here. Rob is he hung around in BC from what I understand, for a little while. So anyway, tonight's show, we have questions that we're going to be asking Craig. We're going to have questions for the whole group. And we also have some additional questions at the end, depending on our timing and order of speaking tonight. We're going to start off with our guest, which is Craig. Then we're going to go to our good friend in the bottom row, Jarvis Biker. We're going to Wayne there. And Superman Kev, anybody who doesn't know Kev, is not linked to the internet. Right? Because everywhere I go, people talk about Superman Kev. So let's start tonight off. And before we give Craig the opportunity to, introduce himself, Craig sent me some pictures, right? I said, send me some pictures, so that we can make a bit of a collage here, because you've got a backyard that's very unique. None of us have this backyard, right? So, and I couldn't really find anything on the internet around BC tourism that really did it justice. So thanks, Craig, for sending me the pictures. And let's start off by checking out where you live.
That's
There we go. Yeah, I know it is, right? And
That's
Craig,
cool.
and Craig was telling me each of those pictures is of a different mountain, right?
They're all on different highways.
Right, which I think is so fantastic. So, Craig, let me turn it over to you, and please introduce yourself.
Okay. Hi. My name's Craig, and of course that's from SHHH Moto Travels. So I'll start out with, where did that name come from? because I actually get that asked of me quite a bit. And this name probably started, I think, around 2004 is when it started, with the first bike that I built on my own. And it turned into a theme bike after a while. And that's the picture of the tank that you see with the girl on it that's going like that. Well, the theme kind of grew because of the stage 4 motor that was put into it.
Oh.
And then, of course, the short Vance and Hines pipes on it, and the baffles are out of it. So the name came because of how noisy the bike is. And with all the buddies, that kind of stuck because it's the first 2 letters of my last name also. So then, of course, it all started growing year after year. And as you can see, like behind me here, that's a painting my wife had made for me by an artist. And it all kind of grew year after year to the point where, my buddies, that's what they know me as, right? So then when I got the second bike here, the one that I'm touring on right now, I got the Harley Boom 2 audio system in it. So it's got amplifiers back and forth in the speaker system. So it's a different kind of loud. It's all because of the music, not because of the motor this time. So it's kind of the second bike that followed that theme. And for how many years now, 16, 17 years, it's kind of following me around.
That's cool.
So when I started this up, it kind of, it just fell into place that's what it has to be. And it might not be the easiest thing to say or search, but that's just the way it is. So about me, my riding journey started 1983 is when I started riding, when I got my first bike, and that was the Honda 83 Nighthawk. And then the very next year, it was a 650 Nighthawk, so it wasn't quite enough for me. So the next year I got that 750 Sabre, and then I rode that one for quite a while. And I just love that bike. And when I first started in 83, it was all town riding. But then in 84, that's when I started hitting the highway. And that's where I found my passion, is traveling around. And I started camping then, and I'm camping up until this right now too. So it's all just fallen into place for a lifetime worth of enjoyment. And that's how I get away. That's my relaxation. And we all get into the groove of work and supporting your family, but that's the way I escaped all that stuff all the time. So it's a lifelong passion.
Wow.
That's a little bit of a background for where all of this came from.
So what made you become a motor vlogger?
Well, that was, after retirement, and then we did a little bit of a trip and we traveled around. Of course, COVID hit, and then all of a sudden you're sitting. And then I realized pretty quick that going to a coffee shop every day is not, my idea of retirement. So when you're, stuck at home, like a lot of us have been, I started watching YouTube quite a bit, and I really got hooked on watching all these moto vloggers on there. And there's such a variety with so many different styles that I love it. I just started watching that all the time. And then my wife actually gave me the idea. She said, you got all this time and you love to ride. Why don't you put the two together? So she actually came up with the idea. And then I started investigating last summer and trying to figure out how to do this. And let me tell you, it's a large learning curve for this guy. Mm-hmm. I'm challenged in a lot of different things. So I'm trying to learn to whatever I can, right?
Wow. Okay, thanks. So let's just continue our way around. Wayne, do you want a quick intro?
Okay, so my YouTube channel is Jarvis Biker. On Facebook is Jarvis Biker Moto. I ride a 2005 1800 Goldwing and a 2012 Concord Kawasaki.
Okay.
Hey, I'm Superman Kev. I have a 2012 Electric Glide, and I make all kinds of silly videos.
Show them the t-shirt, Kev.
Yeah, I got merch. Look at that.
Hey.
And then I've got my logo. Oh, there we go. There's my logo on the arm. I'm gonna be I'm going to be pushing those coming up soon.
Another shameless promo.
I changed my logo for my stickers too. So
yeah,
and I send those out. So
very good. Thank you, Vanna.
Yeah, I you gotta have a Vanna. You gotta have a Vanna. But you know what? I have been. We've never done the formal introductions like we should be, and I think I'll just start off saying, I've been riding for like forever. I started riding just like you, Craig, back in the '80s, and I had an '84 Interceptor in '84.
Oh yeah.
And a 500, and I've been riding a really, really long time, and I was a motorcycle instructor for about 3 or 4 years. So I have done a lot of riding, and I do some training videos and stuff like that. But I love this community, like the moto vlogging community, and some of the great stuff that comes out. And here I am. That's me.
Good stuff. And I'm Dave, and my channel is Harleys, Diners, Rides, and we do videos around motorcycling. We also have a 38-foot Wolfpack toy hauler that we're looking forward to traveling around. We just got it, and now everything's shut down again, so it's sitting in my driveway, collecting dust, right? But this is my third toy hauler that we have.
We know who has all the money.
Yeah, that's
I'd like to meet that person, Kev, because it's not me, right?
Got a friendly banker.
Yeah. Well, it's my wife Lori that looks after everything, including me. Okay, so
when did you start riding, Dave? How long have you been riding?
Oh crap! I got my license when I was 16, but
Me too.
Very fortunate that my dad loved go-karts and mini bikes and stuff like that. So both my brother and I, we started young, right? Terrorizing the fields around our house and with the mini bikes. Now, my first mini bike was an Arctic Cat mini bike.
Oh, really?
I never thought, but anyway, you can still Google them and you can see it, right? So my brother had a little one that just had the shocks and no suspension on the back, right? Just a banana seat, right? And that was his mini bike, right? So anyway,
I got my license in 1974.
How old are you then?
16.
16? I was pretty close because you and I follow each other in age. Okay, we are going to start our questions then. All right. And again, we're going to start off. This question is for Craig. All right. And let's see if I can pull it up without screwing up. Did it come up? There we are. So, Craig, you've got 3 guys from Ontario. Some of us have been to BC, but I don't think any of us have actually gone to BC to ride our motorcycles. So, what type of riding can we expect in BC?
So there's lots of different type of riding to do in BC. And of course, everything out here is themed towards the outdoors, right? So you can stay on the major highways, but you're going to end up in crowds. Like the Okanagan's very busy, and Vancouver and stuff like that. But when you get further east, like towards the Kootenays, and you go up to Highway 16 further north, and you get to Prince George and even further north, the roads are actually very good. But if you really want to see some of BC, that's when you get into the gravel. Now, they're high-grade gravel roads, and as you see, I do it on my road glide. All right, I got no problem doing that. I'll even go up the forestry service roads on my road glide. But if it starts raining, I turn around pretty quick. Those are not the roads to do on a road glide when it's raining. But some of them do get pretty rough. And really, what should I have? I should have one of those adventure bikes now, because there's so many fantastic roads to go on, but a lot of them turn to gravel after a while.
There's a lot of guys that are they're getting that extra bike just for that reason.
Yeah.
Bronco ride he was on last week, he's getting the
Pan American
Harley.
Yeah. And that's what we're talking about for next year. Like, I didn't tell you guys which bike I have, but I have two right now, a 2002 Super, which is the hot rod, and then 2016 Road Glide. So the Road Glide 2016, I've already got 86,000 kilometers on it already. So that miling out pretty quick. But I think it might be in the cards for maybe next year to get one of those cross touring bikes, because there's so many fantastic roads I just can't get to right now.
Right. So tell us about that's the mountains you're telling us about. What about the coastal or even the islands? Because I saw one of your videos where you were jumping the ferry.
Yeah, there's a ton of small islands to get to. Like when you go inside the passage here, and like when I went to Salt Spring Island, but there's Galliano Island, there's Main Island, there's so many of those little ones you can do day trips. But Vancouver Island itself, you could spend a month on Vancouver Island and do so many different roads. The thing about the coast is there's no roads that go up the mainland coast. So one of the rides, which I like quite a bit, the Duffy Lake Loop, you can go up to Whistler and Pemberton and around, but you can't go any further north on the coast. The further north you go, you got to go inland, and then you take, Highway 97 or 16, or the further north you go. But you have to cut back in to get to the coast. So it's like stitching. You got to go back and forth all the time, and it's a lot of miles to do that. So there's no real road to drive up the coast if you want to do the water ride, right? Or the, cruising along the waterfront.
So there's no Highway 1.
No. Yeah. On the island, there's the Inland Island Highway there that goes up the east coast of the island, and you can follow the water right from the south to the north end of the island. And, that's a good, you could, if you wanted to, do it in one day, but it's probably a 2-day ride to do that.
And that's Vancouver Island.
Yeah. But if you want to go to the west coast, it's the same thing. You got to follow the east coast road, and then you cut across to the west to like Ucluelet or Tofino, and then you got to come all the way back, go further north, and then cut across again. On the west side, there's no real road that goes all the way up and down. So it's very odd that the way they have done the roads, it's not like the Cabot Trail where you can follow it all the way around. Yeah.
And we had a couple of our friends, Rob, I said that right, Rob, from Dead Knot, and Daniel from Cabot Trail Biker. They were on with us about a month ago talking about the Cabot Trail. So, it's nice now we're on the West Coast finding out about it. Now, have you ever ridden Victoria Island?
Vancouver Island, and that's Victoria is at the bottom of that, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See.
And that's actually the video I released today was day one when I did the southern Vancouver Island. So that's going through Victoria, and then I went up the west coast up to Port Renfrew. So
okay. Now what's the furthest north and east that you've been? Have you been out towards the Alberta border or up towards Alaska? What?
Yeah, the furthest north that I've been in BC is Fort Nelson, and that's on the east side of BC. And I think I took the ride up there, and I was probably about 20 kilometers short of the Northwest Territories.
Wow.
But I've been on that side there, but I have not done the west side. And that's actually in the plans for this year, is to go right up as far north as I can, cut over to Stewart, because Stewart, BC is on the last inlet before it turns it to Alaska. But to get up to the far north corner, or the northwest corner, I think I calculated out it's about 1,800 kilometers to ride there.
Wow.
So, and it's not the kind of riding you're going to do 800 or 900 a day. So the roads, you're doing pretty good if you're doing 400 or 500 kilometers a day. That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I had a buddy, him and his dad, they went to Alaska from here, from Ontario. And his dad worked on this old Beamer that he had, like the flat twin R3 or whatever, R1, I forget now. Anyway, he worked on it for years, rebuilding this thing, got it all back to brand new again. And he had a XS11 Yamaha, and they took off. And we saw him a couple of months later, and they came back in a pickup truck. They got up on the washboard, and it was so rough that his dad hurt his back.
Oh yeah.
Sold the Beamer, bought a pickup truck with the money, loaded the Yamaha in the back, and they drove home. The drive of shame.
Oh yeah.
But it was so rough. The old guy, he couldn't take it.
And those dirt roads, when you get on them after it's rained and the trucks have been on them for a while, the washboards can be just incredible. Like you got to ride on the sides close to the grass, in order to keep any kind of smooth ride going. Yeah,
I've really enjoyed watching your videos. You've got such a good narration voice for doing the way you do it. Like really, and I'm telling you, I watch a lot of videos and I subscribe to a lot of channels, and I have watched a lot of crappy videos by, like, no, seriously, but when I started watching your videos, I was just amazed at the quality of the videos that you're putting out. And
you got all the facts and the figures, like
you know what? It's just and the extra time that you take in your videos to set up shots when you're pulling in somewhere or when you pull out, or you really are taking the viewer along. And I find that I think I see how long the video is sometimes, like, oh, I'm not going to watch all that. And then I'm like, please subscribe. What the hell? It's over. I watched the whole damn thing.
Well, he's got a lot of content there in all those mountains and the back roads, and out here where we are, especially up Kevin's way, it's all flat. straight road. The only place he gets any curvy roads is he gets closer to Lake Huron or comes down my way. There's a few bends.
But no, I've really enjoyed your content. And how far are you from where you live till you can be riding on these mountain roads?
Because I actually live in White Rock, BC, which is 8 blocks from the U.S. border.
Oh.
I'm right on the ocean and right on the border. So the very corner of mainland Canada.
Okay.
But for me to get to some of those rides, I'm about an hour away.
And so that's not bad.
Yeah. Within an hour, I can get around, Chilliwack, and then you can start doing some of those forestry roads there.
Yeah.
And, once I get to Hope, then I'm in Rockies, and Hope's about an hour away.
Like it's just incredible. I mean, we've been out there. We have family out there, and I love the West. I love the West. It's so different than what we have here. The mountain roads, those mountain highways are just awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I long to do that on the bike sometime, but we'll have to see.
But get a little further east, because some of these roads get very busy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And personally, I don't even like going to the Okanagan anymore. It's a beautiful place, but there's just so many people.
Right.
But if you have to ask me my favorite place to ride, like if I had to pick number one, it's in the Kootenays. And there's some roads that are in the Kootenays there, and I do it about every second year because it's just fantastic there. And some of these roads, like the twisties, are so much, and then you get these wooden bridges that are in the middle of it. And there's one wooden bridge on Highway 31A that's on a 180 switchback. And so in the middle of the 180, there's a wooden bridge. If you don't know what you're riding on and it's raining out, you could be in trouble pretty quick.
Okay, so I'm going to because Craig, you started answering the second question.
Okay, sorry about that.
No. Hey, listen, this is all about you, my friend.
Okay.
Let's not jump ahead.
I'm in trouble already.
Don't worry. Like the switchbacks, we can always circle back if we've forgotten something.
Yeah.
So, Craig, here, before we get into the group discussion, here, this question is for you. What are your 5 favorite rides or destinations in BC?
Okay, so for me, because everybody's got different favorite rides out here with everyone that rides out here, but for me, it's in the Kootenays. And there's this one ride that when you leave New Denver in the Slocan Valley,
Mm-hmm.
take Highway 31A and you cross over to Caslow. And that road there, 31A, where you climb the mountain and you come back down again, is just fantastic. And it's just 2-lane all the way with twisties, turnies. It's almost like going to South Dakota. And then Caslow's this cool little town that's been there forever. And then once you start going south of there, you get to a place called Crawford Bay, and you got to take a little ferry to get across Kootenay Lake. And then once you're at Crawford Bay, you go all the way down to Creston. And that road has got to be number one. Like, it's just a fantastic road to do on 2 wheels. And like, I try and do that road about every second year because I just love it.
Mm-hmm.
And then also right around that area, there's 2 motorcycle only campgrounds. And one of them's Toad Rock and the other one is Riders Ranch. And I always stay at one of them. And it's just, a gorgeous place to go for motorcycles. For me, that's the top area, and it's not that busy. There's not too many cars around. You can actually play and have some fun.
Mm-hmm.
So are those places all shut down right now? There's no camping out there at all, is there?
No, there is camping. We have a 2-week order right now that you're only allowed to stay in your health region. So they've divided the province into 3 sectors, and you can go camping, but it has to be within the sector you live in.
Oh, that's okay.
Unfortunately, I don't live in that one. So, but for the next 2 weeks, it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
The thing I worry about, we've heard this 2-week sentence for about 26 times in a row now, I think.
Yeah.
So,
we're on a 6-week right now.
Yeah.
So, Craig, do you ride alone, or do you ride 2 up a lot?
I ride 2 up with my wife quite a bit when we travel. My wife rides also. She's got a Street Bob, a 2009 Street Bob, but she doesn't like to travel on it. With her shoulders, they get too sore after a while. So we do a couple hours maximum with her. And then on our travel trips, we go 2 up.
Mm-hmm.
But with this stuff that I'm doing now, like with all this moto vlogging, I do a lot of that on my own because I don't want to inconvenience anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
And when I go on group rides, I don't like to film or motovlog because it takes away from the group ride that we're doing. And that's not the intent. I don't want to.
I do videotape when I do ride with the group, but I've got my system so everything's powered off the bike.
Yeah.
I don't even put the batteries in these Verb cameras that I have now. And I'm good for almost 11 hours of video. So I just turn them on, leave them on, and ride.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a great step.
So 128 gig chip in each camera is good for 10 hours and 47 minutes. So.
Yeah.
And I tend to, on my rides, is I like to just get shots. I don't necessarily like when we stop, I want shots. I usually try to get 2 or 3 different angles as I'm going along, and it doesn't matter where, because I shoot it in such a way that I can stick it in anywhere, and it can be any part of the road.
Okay.
The ride. And it's we, like you said earlier, we all have our own style and our own way of doing it, and I find what I like about yours is you're always telling a story about where you're going. And that's something that I've not tried yet. I tell a story about what I'm doing that day. But I like what you're doing with all the information and stuff like that. It's really interesting, you know? And you do such a good job. I'm just really, really impressed.
Well, thanks. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, it was the first time we spoke about it was the 3 of us on a chat, and we were just talking. And I said, "Hey,
have you seen this
almost
guy?"
at the same moment we went, "Oh, what about that guy from BC? You seen that?" And
yeah, holy crap!
like, oh, yeah. So yeah, you made an impression really quick.
Oh, well,
For
thanks.
sure.
Yeah.
But I really enjoy that style of video. So what I'm producing is actually something that I want to watch.
Yeah.
And if somebody else wants to watch, I think that's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Not really doing it trying to sell it to anybody. I'm producing something that I can watch for the next 20 years and remember what I did, right?
Yeah, that's my theory is just to document the ride for later. When I'm 80, I can point at the screen and go, look what I did,
And see,
when I was younger. So
I'm a goofball. I'm a goofball, and I act goofy, and I put goofy stuff on. And so,
Yeah. So Craig, just to go back, you had a picture in that collage that we played at the very beginning.
Yep.
And it was you on a wooden bridge without any railings. Tell us about that.
So that place right there, that's actually a video that I got coming out next Monday. And I ended up by Port Renfrew, and I didn't even really know where I was going that day. And when I got up there, I did a hike, but then I realized on the map that there's a really cool area I wanted to see. So I just started going there. And the further along I got, all of a sudden I got onto a logging road, and it was an active logging road because a couple trucks passed me the other way.
That's scary.
Yeah. And then I kept on going and going and going because I really wanted to get to this area. And all of a sudden I turned left on this road, and right in front of me is a 1-lane bridge that's a logging bridge. It's a wooden bridge with no sides on it. And I crossed the river, and it's about 60 feet in the air.
holy crap.
So I'm in the middle of this bridge, and I'm going, I'm not comfortable with this. We can't turn around, right?
Nope.
The only thing I'm thinking is, I hope there's not a logging truck coming down the hill.
Yeah.
So I get across, and then of course I keep on going, and then I get to the area of Avatar Grove that I'm going to. And then these people look at me, and they turn around. They're at the entrance of this hike, and they looked at me, and one guy said to me, I got friends with adventure bikes that won't come up here. And you're on a road glide. So, I just keep on going until it's just not right for me to go any further.
Yeah.
Now, do you have clubs or websites in BC that talk about the different rides? Like, how do you find these logging roads that you've been on, or is it just by chance?
Well, lots of it for me is by chance, but there is a Facebook group that I belong to out here called Ride in BC.
Mm-hmm.
And it's an excellent group because they don't want politics on their site. We don't talk about anything other than riding.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of people that just share an awesome road they've been to or a new experience. And I really like that group because politics doesn't come into it. So I get some ideas from there.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, I've been riding around here since '84, and a lot of it I tripped over. And then I find the areas that I just love to go back to. So,
Right.
Yeah. Those are always the best rides, eh? When you find one.
Every once in a while you find a gem. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you can ride all season round, can you?
Yeah, I rode every month this year, and I think I've got 5,200 kilometers on the bike already this year.
Wow.
And yeah, you can go all year here. I leave it insured all year. There's a couple weeks in December we had snow for 1 week, so that's just the way it is.
Oh, yeah.
Compared to Alberta, it's way better.
We had snow for 1 week every week for a month.
Well, before I retired, I worked in Alberta for 22 years, and we had a good summer, but the other 9 months of the year was terrible.
Yeah. Okay, so just to kind of show how big Canada is, and I thought of a question, right, for the whole group. And Craig, we'll start off with you again. Is what provinces have you rode in?
So on the motorbike, I've ridden in 4 provinces and 29 states.
Wow.
29.
Yep.
Wow.
On your motorcycle?
Yes.
Wow.
29.
the
That's
furthest way was just last year. I was in Florida for Daytona Bike Week right before COVID hit.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in Savannah, Georgia when they told us it's time to come home. So
Yeah.
So we had to cut that one short, but that was the first time I went out east on the bike.
Wow. You were in Daytona Beach or Daytona Bike Week last year?
Yeah.
I think I saw you. You had a black jacket on and riding a Harley?
Yeah.
I was there too.
Yeah, and a black Harley.
A black Harley, black T-shirt.
Yeah, this one.
So
might have been black. Yeah. Yeah.
when you were in Savannah, you should have rode up to Brunswick and gone out on Jekyll Island and parked on the end of the pier and got a photo
Oh, I would have loved to, but
with a big U.S. submarine going by.
Yeah.
Would have been perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but that's when all the nonsense was happening, and we
Yeah.
were kind of sticking close to the TV trying to figure out everything.
Yeah.
Before then, I actually did a bucket list thing because I went to Blue Jay spring training in Dunedin.
Dunedin.
So I spent the week there with the training, and that's a bucket list thing for me. I wanted to see that. So then right before Blue Jay spring training, I did the Daytona 500 and
Mm-hmm.
the Daytona Bike Week after that. So that was a great month.
Oh yeah.
So was this when you just retired that you did this?
Yeah. After retirement, we did 19 months on the road. So we just
Wow.
we did 3 continents and 6 countries in 19 months.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Wow.
I didn't take my bike to the South Pacific, but I rode scooters on those islands down there. That's an adventure on its own.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be.
Wow. Wow. So let's continue here. Wayne, how about you? What provinces have you rode in?
Canada-wise, Ontario and Quebec. U.S., probably about 10 states. I've been out to New Hampshire, like right through New York State and Vermont, New Hampshire, up through Maine, into Quebec. I've been to Arkansas, through Tennessee,
The Blue Mountains.
Ohio, Michigan, all down through there to get to where I was going.
Yeah.
I've been through all of those ones as well in the pouring rain.
I guess the Smoky Mountains with that Blue Valley Parkway. And
Yeah, I wanted to jump off on it, but the weather turned really cold on the way back. And when I was in Memphis, I hung around a little bit with Memphis Mike. He's a Goldwing guy down there. And he sent me to cycle gear. He said, you better go get some gear. So I went and got my hot wired stuff, had it all set up on the bike. And it's a good thing I did. I'd have froze to death on the way home. So I didn't lollygag around going up through those states. It was too cool. It was ice on the visor
oh yeah.
weather. But I was nice and warm when I was going. So
Yeah, we did 2 weeks in the Smoky Mountains there, and the roads there, like of course the Tail of the Dragon and the Wolf, Devil's Driveway and all that. Like they were just
Mikey's always down in there. The Kalhala part, Skyway or whatever it is down there. There's a couple of the routes down there that are really good. And my riding group, we had it planned for the last 2 summers to go to the Ozarks and ride all through there. 7 days ride through all there. I think we were going to stay in 4 different locations at night and ride all that, but COVID came and wrecked all that. So we went up north did the northern ride. So
yeah,
which is okay. I mean, it's beautiful. Like we're going to go up and see Dave pretty soon, and
that's
I
a northern
can't wait
ride.
to get back up there.
Yeah. Okay, so Kev, let's just jump over to you. What provinces have you rode in?
Well, you know what? I had a Honda Magna for 16 years.
Oh.
So I could only go 160 kilometers on a tank.
Oh.
And my butt could only go about 150. So I did a lot of riding around Ontario, day tripping. So I wanted to go farther. I bought the Harley, and I bought the Harley in 2017. And I took a trip up to Thunder Bay, and
Thunder
and
Bay.
Thunder Bay, Thunder Bay,
Thunder Bay.
and I was really looking forward to doing a lot of touring. That was the beginning of the touring bug for me, to really go on long trips, and I was planning on going all the way. I wanted to go down south and meet a lot of the moto vloggers that I follow, all the way down to Mississippi and Florida, and then COVID hit, and so everything that I was planning on doing, I did the big long trip up to Thunder Bay, which was awesome. I went up to Algonquin Park, and I did about a 4 or 5 day trip that time, and all by myself, and went down all these other little roads and stuff. It was great, but I've been wanting to do this big long touring. I wanted to go east, I wanted to go west, and I've been locked down.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
So just to finish off with me, the haven't rode anything past the Ontario border heading west. So all of my riding has been east and south. So definitely all throughout Ontario, into Quebec, New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, and Newfoundland, right? Cape Breton Island. I've done a lot of those, but most of them without having a GoPro on, right? Yeah. And then down in through the States, been into New York State, New Hampshire, in Maine. If you ever look, there's Lori and I took a 14-day trip down through the States and then circled back up into Canada. And we went into Maine, and from Maine we hugged the coast to a little town called Leduc. It's the most eastern town on the U.S. coast.
Oh.
And then you go up over a little bridge, and it's a little shack, and that's the Canadian border.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I like that. When you get across, and the guard is in that little booth.
Yeah.
He's in a little phone booth.
And then
the guy starts talking to you in French, and you just go, no, English. Oh, okay.
And then we island hopped over to New Brunswick from there. So, that was a special trip for Lori and I. And then through the States. But, I'm looking forward to the day I can, get out and across to the west of us now, especially with the toy hauler, make it easy crossing the prairies, right? And which reminds me of a saying, Kev, right? The mind can take in what the ass can endure.
That's right. Now what I did forget about all that is my son and I, because he had like a sport bike, so we would do a ride every summer, and we would often go over the border. Like we've been into Michigan and New York and Ohio. Went to Six Flags over there in Ohio. That was fun. And those kind of things. But again, like I was riding my 750 and he was riding a 300. He had a brand new Ninja 300. And I mean, he could keep up fine, but both of us could only, it's what the ass can handle.
Yeah. And that was from an old instructor that used to teach some courses at work, right? Yeah. And you'd be sitting in there listening to health and safety, and at the best of time, health and safety courses are nothing but riveting.
Yes, I've presented lots of them.
So and that's what as soon as he started people starting to twitch, he knew it was time for a break, which means we're on to our next question. All right. Okay, so Craig, back up to you. How is the 2021 riding season shaping up for you? And let's just add a caveat there, whether the province is shut down or if it's opened up, right? So
I'm looking forward to 2021 because, like I said, sometimes I want to explore my backyard again. We've been very fortunate to be able to travel the world, and I've seen lots of that, but it's back to BC now, and it's actually given me the opportunity to explore everything here again. And with a new hobby, it's a different way of looking at it. So I've got tons of rides planned for this year. And the way it looks, I'm going to have no problem doing all of them here in BC. I have one bucket list trip that I want to take, and I'm not sure if it's going to happen this year. But in 2017, they opened the road for year-round travel all the way up to Tuktoyaktuk. So I want to go and take the bike up to the Arctic Ocean.
Wow.
And it's now a year-round road. Now, all the investigation I've done on it is you can do it, but if you're doing it on like a bagger, you're going to have to do it on dry days. You're not going to do it on a wet day. And the adventure bikes can go right through, but I would have to hold tight until it dries out. But that's a long drive. When I investigated it, from my house here, it's 4,100 kilometers to get to Tuktoyaktuk. And to put that to scale, if I wanted to come visit you guys in Toronto, that's 4,300 kilometers. So, so it's 100 shorter to go to Tuktoyaktuk.
Wow. Wow. So
now, me and my wife, we have a plan to do that in July, but we have to wait and see with all these conditions if we can get across the two territories.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Wow.
But
wow.
that's a bucket list item. That's something I've wanted to do for eons. But up until 2017, it was an ice road.
Right. And what perfect timing. We have a friend named Bronco Ride, Colin, and coming up in May or June, he's going to have a brand new Pan American Harley Davidson.
Yeah.
I think he should put it in the back of his truck, and I think he should come up and join you from BC to the Great West Territories.
Tuck.
So how long would it take you to get there?
Well, with those type of roads, because like once you get past Whitehorse, I think it is, it's all dirt roads.
Mm-hmm.
So like if you do about 300 kilometers a day, you're doing pretty good. So I figure from White Rock here, it's probably going to take me 2 weeks to get there.
Wow.
And of course, I want to stop and see things. I'm not doing an iron butt challenge. I don't need to get there tomorrow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I want to stop and see all the sights on the way up there. There's so much to see when you get up north.
I can't even imagine what the scenery would be like up there.
Oh, it's unbelievable. But the further north you go, you got to be, especially traveling on a bike, you got to be prepared for it, because the wildlife up there, it's all over the place and you will run into everything. So if you're just staying in a tent on a motorbike, you got to be ready for the wildlife you're going to encounter. So like I travel with bear spray and I travel with an air horn and, a few other things for protection that way, because, the bobcats, they're not afraid of you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the bears leave you alone unless they got a reason. And that's if you got some food on you that kind of smells, right?
Or you haven't bathed for a while. Or I said
You're just a Sasquatch then.
Oh,
you gonna kiss the toe?
Wayne, how about you?
Yeah, I want to do that at that bar up there.
Yeah.
What was the question again, Dave?
Sour toe cocktail.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll throw this one back to Wayne.
Up. Yeah. We're just treading water right now. We're waiting to see what's going to happen. Our trip is pretty fluid, whichever way we decide to go. Most of the guys in the riding group can shift their holidays, so we're just waiting to see what transpires. If out east opens up, say July, August, we may go that way, and if it doesn't, maybe we're going to have to go back north again. But it is what it is, right? So most of us have had one shot, and I'll have my second one in July. So after that, I'm assuming that I'll be able to get across the border with the wife to go to our New Hampshire friends and ride around down there. So I want to take a week and go down there. Usually we just go for the weekend, and it's never enough time.
Yeah.
And I'd done a ride south to Massachusetts from our friend's place in New Hampshire, and that was I don't think I saw sunlight the whole time. It was all tree covered and twisties and deer drinking out of the puddle in the middle of the road. And it was just so scenic that I want to get back and let the wife see what I've seen down there. So
Good.
and I want to take her north as well, let her see that too. So there's 2 or 3 weeks right there that even if the riding group doesn't go, we'll be going somewhere ourselves.
Okay. Good.
Yeah,
Thanks, Wayne. Colin, or sorry, Kevin.
For me, it's going to be ice cream runs for sure. Well, the group that I ride with locally here, we do a lot of we have this running gag. Are we a motorcycle group or are we an ice cream group? And we're pretty much convinced we're an ice cream group that rides motorcycles. So we're planning. I'm planning on doing those. I'm really hoping that Wayne and I are able to make our way up to see Dave. And,
well, we're going to go to get groceries in Keswick.
Yeah, we'll go get groceries. But yeah, I'm hoping that I can do a couple of. Again, just like Wayne said, it really depends on what happens here. If I don't foresee going on any big trips this year because of the situation. I wouldn't mind getting away for a couple of weekend trips, where I could go, and likely it would be with a tent. I'm not a big fan. I had a moto vlogging friend once tell me that moto camping sounds really nice until you do it. And my experience was I rode all day. I was really, really tired. I got to my campsite and it's like, okay, now I got to set up my tent. So I set up my tent. Now I have to make supper. Okay, so I made supper and then the black flies came out. So you know what? I'm going to not go as early. Last time I went in June. And it'll be more likely July, and I probably won't have the same problems, But again, it really does depend, because this year, with everything shut down, one of the things, and I'm sure Dave can speak to that too, is that the campgrounds are filling up quickly, and so a guy traveling on a bike, you might not get a campsite in a campground. I mean, you might have to find a side road,
I want to go to like Mosport to the bike races.
Yeah.
And camp over for the weekend when the big final one's on.
If it goes forward. Yeah.
Well, it's the same with everything, right?
Yeah, and that's sort of like I'm really doing the wait and see. But for sure I will be doing ice cream runs, and at the very least I'll be doing a lot of day tripping where
I truly believe that everything will be opened up around September, mid-October, September.
September is beautiful riding around here. Like September is almost the best month because you get nice days, but it's not those brutal hot ones that we get in southern Ontario with all the humidity.
North, you might get into where the leaves are already turning. So
no, not in September, October.
Not in September.
October, yeah.
Like so, September, I love riding in September.
Yeah. So for Lori and I, if the province opens up and we can get down to Nova Scotia, we'll be heading there in August. If not, we'll leave the toy hauler at home and we will jump on the bikes and we will tour throughout Ontario wherever we can, stop and go, right? So we won't camp it, but we will glamp it, and we'll stay in that provincial park called the Holiday Inn.
Yeah, right? I like that one.
And not to mention hooking up with Kevin, Wayne, and all of the other riding with my friends and things like that. So speaking of which,
you can do a slide around through Niagara on the Lake and do the little wine country tour.
Oh, no, if we go there, Wayne, I have to take the truck because Lori will fill the back of it.
The one thing
a buddy of mine, his mom went to Martha's Vineyard and ordered all slew cases and cases and had it shipped to Calgary to her son's house and then shipped to Ontario to avoid the taxes.
Ah!
Yeah.
Okay, so just moving on. So here we go. Because if you watch Craig's videos, Craig is doing a lot of moto camping. So I thought we would share with him, right? Obviously Craig's going to talk first, but we'll share with him our experience of moto camping too. So Craig, go ahead, lead off.
So the last moto camping trip I did was March 30th. And that's the video that I just put out today. But
it looked cold.
The first one I did this year was March 13th. So technically it was winter still. Mm-hmm. And that one surprised me. The forecast was to go down to 2 degrees. So I'm prepared for that. But when it went to -6, that was cold. And that was a little too cold for the setup I had. And then at 3 a.m, the air mattress let go.
And I saw that in your video.
Well, if the GoPro was on, there would have been some blue language.
So do you do a lot of moto camping?
Oh, yeah, I love it. And that's the kind of stuff I love to do. And I'll do with my wife, we do hotels and stuff like that. But when it's me, it's the tent and the bag and off I go. Yeah. I love it. Yeah. I got this little stove set up that folds right up into a little square. And I got all the stuff to try and save as much room as possible. But I've been doing that since '84 and I just love it.
Well, is that a future video that we can wait to see as you packing your bike?
Yeah, I could do something like that and show it like everything I got, because I've collected over the years everything to be as portable as possible. And with the chairs that I got and everything else, it folds up pretty quick and then off you go. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, good. Wayne, how about you?
I've never gone moto camping, but I want to. I'm set up for it. I've got almost everything I need. Is a tent and the mattress is all I need. I've got my little propane barbecue. I've got my trailer. I can throw my lawn chairs and stuff in and do all that. I even got enough space. I could bring my own firewood if I really wanted to.
Yeah.
Pack it in tight. I could get away with that too. So yeah, I'm planning on doing it. I just wait until there's an opportunity.
Yeah. How big's your trailer?
Well, it's like a medium-sized car topper on a trailer frame. They're in some of my earlier videos. It's in there most of the time. I haven't used it this year yet, but it's in the one I went to Kev's the first time when we went to Kincardine.
Yeah.
It's in that video. It's big enough. It'd be over 12 inches deep, and it's a fair size. You can put a lot.
You could strap a cooler on the front, couldn't you?
It'll hold all the wife's makeup when we travel, and that takes up.
You can put a cooler right on the tongue, can't you?
What's that?
A cooler right on the tongue, couldn't you?
I could put it on there. Yeah, I don't have one. I've been debating how to mount everything on there, and I'll probably get a aluminum tray laser cut and then get it bent, get the edges bent up and I just haven't bought a cooler yet. I haven't decided whether I want to spend a shit ton of money on a really good one or just get an average one and just keep changing the ice, right? So
yeah,
it's going to happen. It's just not number one on the priority right now because everything's up in the air. It's just everything hinges on getting free.
We could always go camping with Craig. You won't need ice.
Here's a moto camping hack that I'll tell you about for a cooler. What I do is, first of all, you go to the local liquor store and get a 6-pack of beer first. Then I go to Subway and get a vegetable sub. So I got a little bit for salad that night, but they'll give you a bunch of ice there if you just get a 6-inch sub. So then I put the ice in that 6-pack of beer. And then once you finish the beer, there you got your cooler for whatever you got left over. And in the morning, it's all in the garbage.
Yeah.
Is that called roughing? That's called roughing it, isn't it?
The only thing I paid for was that 6-pack, really.
Oh. Good. Okay, Kev, just jumping over to you.
Well, you know what? I was hoping that I will try the moto camping one more time because I went and bought a whole bunch of stuff to do it. I've got my tent, and I've got the little 1-burner stove, and like I took a whole lot of. I was really prepared. Actually, I was. The thing that got me were the bugs. Like, it was black flies. If it wouldn't have been for the black flies, the weather was good. I didn't really get cold. I had a crappy mattress, and you can appreciate that, Craig. I thought, I don't need an air mattress. I'll take a yoga mat. Don't ever do that.
Yeah.
Well, I got to tell you, moto camping, I think I was 20 when I did it. And much the same as Craig, I prioritized my camping supply on a tent that really wasn't very good, sleeping bag, forgot an air mattress, but ensured that I had enough alcohol to last me for the week. And the buddy I went with, he didn't do much better. And when we got to the campsite where we were, because we went down by Sarnia, Ontario, we were really lucky because the two fathers there's two families on either side of us, and the fathers took pity on us because they would come over in the morning and they'd go, "Hey guys, I don't see a fire." Well, no, we didn't bring matches, right? You guys want a coffee or something? Tell us about your bikes. And so they would come over and they bring us coffee. They would bring us sandwiches for breakfast, and we would sit around and they'd sit on our bikes and all of that. So we thought it was really good because aside from picking all the money for alcohol and gas and going out to the clubs at night, we didn't really think of anything else. So we were really fortunate that we had found two families that took pity on us. Yeah. And the wives would give us dinner and the husbands would bring over breakfast. And the rest of the time we just hung around the beach, laid out on the sand, and drank exorbitantly. All right. I always remember because I got my top of my foot. If you ever have a sunburn on the top of your foot, then put cowboy boots on and then try shifting.
Yeah.
Not very good.
The worst thing that I did on my camping experience too was I made the fatal mistake of getting those freeze-dried dinner things. Oh my God. You know what?
Tastes like ass.
Oh, it was bad. It was worse. It was worse. It was like, bleh. So I went and I bought a couple of cans of stuff, and stuff that I wouldn't normally think tasted good was the best meal ever.
Okay. Well, listen, I see we're coming to, let's do some, as other people would call this, our friends over at the Fireside Chat. This is rapid fire. We got 3 questions.
Okay.
All right. And I'll let you guys have a little bit of leeway on explaining why, but not too much, right? We don't want to be here for breakfast.
All right. So just quick answers.
Make sure Jarvis Biker shuts up quick.
Yes.
Okay. So, Craig, mountains or coastal roads? What's your preference?
Coastal roads. Highway 101 all the way down to LA. I love coastal roads.
Very good. Wayne?
Yep, coastal. Yeah, for sure.
Coastal? Kev?
Being as I live in the flats, I'm going to say mountains or anything that's different than what I have.
Okay. And I'm going to go for coastal roads, but I'll put a twist in it and say you got to ride the Cabot Trail and ride the mountains along the coastal roads.
Yeah, no, that's good. Yeah, that's a good answer.
All right. And I'm sure if we tune in a couple of years from now, we all get back together, we'll talk about the BC coastal roads up through the mountains and that too, right?
Yeah.
All right. That wasn't too bad.
See, we did good.
We did, right? Okay. Next one. Short or long days of riding when you're on vacation?
I like short days riding. I like doing something on the way. The only time I like a long day is if I got to get somewhere, right?
Okay. Wayne?
Yeah, you have to kind of advise what you mean. Like long distance, but taking in the scenery. Yes, that's what I would say. With my bike, I can go like long days and not be bothered, but because it's comfortable and you don't have to push it. You can ride slow and a lot of hours, so you can get a lot of places and see a lot of things all in one. So I'd say long.
Okay, good.
I'm along the same. I like to ride for a long time. I have been finding I haven't been able to because I get too zonked out. But I prefer a good long ride because I love to ride.
Yeah.
So and it's like for me, a motorcycle trip is that I love that Zen place that you get into when you're on the bike and you're going for a long time. It's not like it is a long time, if you know what I mean. You guys all get it,
Yeah.
but it's like, you get into this, I just take it all in. And so I think I've done both. Like when we've gone out before, I've gone on a shorter trip, but that was like Wayne had said earlier, when you've got a place that you want to really explore, when you're going to get off and walk around and check it out. But I think on a motorcycle trip, I want to ride. I want to ride.
So long days for you, eh?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go with short days because most of my vacations is with my wife, Lorelei, and she likes to do between 4 and 5 hours. And that is, getting up a relaxing time of morning, riding, finding a nice place for morning break, a lunch, afternoon break, stop and see some of the sceneries, take some pictures, enjoy the surroundings, right? So we like short days of riding, but then I've been on with a couple of buddies. We head out on the road and we power it. We'll do 8-9 hours worth of riding each day, just to get to a destination, right? So, but you know what? As I get older, I like the short rides and booking more time as the vacation.
Yeah.
All right. So good answers. All right. So here we go. So now then, there's a term I'm using here: motorcation. So anybody that has watched Boots and Jeans, which is Kate and Rich, they go on motorcations.
Bikecations.
Oh, bikecation. Thanks, Kevin. Bikecation. I'm always getting something wrong on this show.
Bikecations.
It's bikecations.
Yeah.
Well, the exchange rate in Canada makes it a motorcation. That's my story. I'm going to stick with it. Okay, so favorite month for a motorcation, Craig?
Okay, well, I guess looking back at the history, we've always done August, but that's partly because we've gone to Sturgis for the past 13 years in a row.
Oh, wow.
So we've met a group of friends and we meet there every year, and this group is growing every single year. Wow. So for years, we had a standing vacation where we always went there in August. And the weather in South Dakota is just fantastic in August.
Well, I have to ask, where did you stay? And where do you stay in Sturgis?
Every year we stay at the Buffalo Chip, and we do the camping every year.
I was at
field camping. There's no services.
I know. So we were there in 2017. We stayed at the Shade Tree, which is just outside of Sturgis. And I'm sure I saw you. You were wearing a black T-shirt, riding a road glide, weren't you?
Yeah. Yeah, I've done it every year since 2008 was our first year, and we've done it every year, and it's such a fun place, but you don't plan on sleeping for 10 days, right?
Yeah. I just remember we went over the top of the Lake Michigan, came through Sault Ste. Marie, and we got on, I forget what is Highway 290, is it, or something like that? And for us, it said the next turn on the GPS was like something stupid, 500 or 600 miles before I turned off, right? Yeah. So anyway, sorry for interrupting. Okay, Wayne.
Favorite month? Probably like we said before, it's probably like September, October time frame in there. It's cooler, not as busy.
Yes.
The holidayers are gone.
Yes. That's what I like.
Yeah. Get up on some of those roads, the 2-laners, and there's nobody there. It's nice.
Yeah. Good.
And I would concur September for all the same reasons.
Yeah. And for me, I'm going to go with August, right? I find August to be a little bit cooler weather, and probably less rain. Now, mind you, I said that now, and I'm going to screw myself for our vacation in August. Right? But I found August to be a good month for riding. All right. So you guys did well. Hey, we're doing good on time. Any other thing? Did we miss anything, Craig? Anything we want more to add in?
Oh, there's so much more to add in, but I could talk forever about if we're talking about BC, but that then it gets to be too much. But
well, what I would like to say is I would like to encourage everybody in the side chat to go and check out SHHH Moto Travels. It is a really good channel and one of my favorites, I have to say. And I watch an awful lot. He does a really good job. The videos are outstanding. I just think it's, if you haven't checked out his channel, check it out. We'll have it in the description. Dave will have it in the description. So
yeah. And
I have some sad news.
Uh-oh.
We lost a biker down here in Hagersville night before last.
Oh no.
23 years old, just got a bike, first bike out for his first ride. Right in downtown Hagersville in one of the main streets. Stopped and a stolen vehicle rammed him from behind, knocked him off into oncoming traffic off the bike, and he was run over and killed. And then the ones that caused it ran and ditched the car, and they're still hunting for him.
Oh no.
23. So, we're lucky. We can sit here. We're all getting up there in years, and we're lucky that there wasn't some idiot coming up behind us and ending it all just as it started. So I feel bad for what happened.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just count your lucky stars, everybody in the side chat and everywhere, that, we're pretty lucky to be able to get away with what we have and the mistakes we've made in the past and live to tell about them, I guess, is the best.
Well, and I think the thing that I always stress too, I mean, I do a lot of safety videos on my channel, parking lot practice, especially for new riders, but something like that, I mean,
keep an eye in the mirrors,
only experience could help you. And even then, that coming up from behind, you have to be willing to let go of your bike and let the bike get hit. And that's too bad.
Well, I've been rear-ended before, but not that.
Yeah. Well, I think we all agree that our thoughts and prayers go out to that family, and we wish them all the best. Also wanting to wish all our best, Craig, is to you, right? Thank you for taking the time to chat with us tonight on our Monday Canadian Guys live stream. And for everybody, as Kevin said, you should check out Craig's site. And as Rob from Denmark, not to mention has he crashed his drone yet? No. So one of the nice things is check out Craig's video. He's got a new drone. It's amazing. He goes on this crazy back road, dirt road with potholes and water, and he's got a drone following him, and the drone is ducking up and down underneath the hydro lines, following him along. You know, I wish we had time to talk about your experience with the drone and that. But
I can do better than that.
I had a new drone once.
I was out riding with the princess the other day, and we were following a hawk that was flying above us, and he tried to bomb us with the mouse that he'd captured out of the farmer's field, and it just missed the bike, and the princess was screaming, and I got it on video.
so that'll be the next video we watch.
The next wildlife video from Jarvis Biker.
National Geographics.
Yeah.
So, Craig, again, you know, we invite you to stick around as we drop into the green room and kind of, you know, chat there a little bit more. To our people in the side chat, recognize a whole lot of you there. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. All the best. Ride safe. Be safe. Right. And we'll see you soon. And I think up next week, Superman Kev is going to be taking us on a wild ride somewhere.
Yes, I haven't got it all figured out yet, but I will, and I will let you know really soon.
Oh, and Craig, there's one of your neighbors, right? The military biker has just popped in.
Oh.
He's in Alberta, right? That's close to your backyard, isn't it?
Well, I spent 20 years there working in the oil field before I came back here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Well, listen, stay in touch with us. We look forward to seeing your videos. And guys, anything else?
I
really appreciate this opportunity. It was a lot of fun tonight. I really like that.
Yeah.
Very good. Very
But
good. And we enjoyed having you.
You did good. So
Yeah. So
all right.
We'll see everybody in the side next week, and we'll be on Superman Kev's channel next week. So see you then.
All right. All right. Take care, everybody. Good night.
Good night.